Gracias, Dailan. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, Giovanni. ¿Usted cómo estás?
Todo bien, gracias.
Después de la reunión te voy a llamar. Tenemos una conversación pendiente. Vi el email que me enviaste.
Vale, gracias. Un saludo para todos, chicos.
Saludos.
Okay, welcome everyone. We are now recording. This Zoom meeting, be aware, is being recorded live for training and quality and content purposes. We're also streaming live on Facebook at the Broker Nation Doral and the Broker Nation Real Estate Facebook page. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat for that you can share with your friends on Facebook. It's Friday, so it must be Real Estate Friday with Daylon Rabito. Daylon, welcome. Take it away.
Hey, Steve. Thank you so much for the intro as usual. Thank you everybody for joining us today for Real Estate Friday. My name is Daylon Rubido, for those of you that don't know me. So we meet here every single Friday at 1, just at lunchtime or right after lunchtime. So I want to thank you everybody for taking your time and engaging with us every single Friday. So today we're going to be talking about the 7 listing presentation mistakes and how to avoid them. We've been talking now for some time, the way the real estate market is, and the opportunity that we have is that we should, some of our goals should be, or part of our goal, or our main goal, I would say, should be to figure out a way to get more listings. When this market change, because it would happen, right? You want to make sure you are on top of the food chain, and that is having enough listings to be able to provide to customers. So again, today we're going to be talking about those listing presentation mistakes and how to avoid them. Even the most experienced realtors make mistakes during listing presentation. There are a lot going through their heads. It's easy to miss out on detail so you want to make sure to avoid all this. Listing presentations are one when you can simultaneously prove your work and overcome objections, right? Has that happened to you? When you're doing a listing presentation, think of the most common objections that you will get and how you're going to get past them. So today you're going to see now 7 listing presentation mistakes and how you can avoid these objections and how to avoid these possible mistakes. So let's get right in. So let's start with number 1. Pitching when everyone who has a say in the home isn't there. Pitching when everyone who has a say in the home is not there. Now, this can happen when either spouse is at work or a parent is busy taking care of young children. It's great if you get one person to buy into your pitch and they want to work with you. The problem is you only won over that one person, and you're leaving it up to that person that you speak or you spoke with to remember your selling point, to remember how to sell to the other spouse or to the other person. The other decision maker may have different ideas when it comes to listing their home with an agent. Therefore, don't make your full and final pitch until everyone with any type of say is present. This is a mistake number 1 to avoid. When you leave your pitch up to another person to relay, your best selling points may get lost in translation. So you want to avoid this. You don't want to depend on someone else to sell their significant other on you. That's your job. So you don't want to depend on that. Plus, chances are the homeowner will say, or he or she can make a decision until he or her significant other is brought up to speed. So think about this for a second. How do you avoid this mistake? How can you avoid this? How can you avoid the potential of just talking to one person versus having both present? Who knows this? Ray?
Well, it's important when you're booking the meeting to make sure that they're aware of this. Tell them that it's meant to be heard by all the residents at the same time, or all the owners at the same time, and they'll understand. They're gonna have to make an effort that to make a time work for everyone involved. There's gonna be a lot of instances during the transaction where that's gonna have to happen as well, in terms of getting things signed, etc. So just let them know up front that that's what you need. That's the only option.
Exactly. So just ask him up front, like Ray said, if they're available, and it will make more sense to just schedule your appointment based on their availability and just have them both present at the same time. Excellent. So point number 2, make it too much about you instead of focusing on them. Now, the misconception about listing presentation is that you're here to sell yourself. Now, while you're showing a homeowner what you can do, your real focus should be on what you can do for them. Again, it's not what they can do for you, but what you can do for them. You solving a problem. So most agents, they sit in front of the homeowners and talk about how great they are. They talk about how many homes they've sold and how great their marketing is. So if that's the approach, what is the problem with this? Right, what do you see the problem could be if that will be the approach?
Well, once again, it makes it hard for them to think that you're there working to solve their problems when all you're doing is selling yourself. You need to be able to listen, and you need to be able to address their issues and be able to help them with those problems. And that way, they'll see that your priority isn't yourself, it's them.
Exactly. So then instead of focusing on yourself, how about we do this? How about you talk about how your marketing and knowledge can work for the particular home sale. Paint the perfect picture of how working with you will guarantee a stress-free, quick, and profitable sale. Show your past sales to back up your talking points, but don't boast too much or make the presentation all about you. Instead, keep the focus on the homeowner and their home and how exactly you're going to be able to help them accomplish their goal, which is solving their particular problem. So number 3, relying too heavily on visuals. Relying too heavily on visuals. If you load up your presentation with a lot of graphs, pictures, charts, videos, if you think about it, you might be overwhelming the homeowners a little bit. So you don't want for people to be, selling to become a distraction and take away from what you're trying to sell them on or what you're trying to explain to them. You need to find a balance between keeping your audience engaged and your presentation and overloading them with too many visual information. So there has to be a balance, and maybe you should put together a good presentation where you already have this kind of like the template of how all your presentations moving forward will be. Number 4, not using enough visuals, right? The other side of the coin. So this is the same balance I just mentioned. If you have too much numbers in your presentation or a lot of written out data, your presentation is guaranteed to be as norm. So you don't want them to get bored just listening to you. So how do you avoid this? Well, to avoid this, you got to find a way to include your most important CMA statistics and use them in simple charts or graphs. Make it as simple as possible. People don't want to be overwhelmed by visuals, but they also don't want to sit through a text heavy presentation. So, again, it's very important to find a good balance in your presentation between visuals and text. Number 5, not practicing overcoming objections. Now, this is a big one. Not practicing overcoming objections. Most agents know how they'll handle certain homeowners' objections, but scenarios don't always play out exactly how you plan in the actual moment. So if you stumble, even for a few seconds, or if your answer isn't 100% clear, you can easily destroy a homeowner's faith in your knowledge and ability to sell their home. So any response that creates a type of resistance is a response that you should avoid. For instance, saying no, that can be very polarizing, right? Fully explaining yourself without outright saying no is the best practice. So the best objection response are ones that fully answers the intent of the question and lead the homeowner to a more positive topic of conversation. So again, saying no just like that doesn't really solve a problem. Rather, it closes the door, and we don't want to close our doors. So how do you avoid this mistake? So the best way is to make sure that you have a foolproof response to common objections is to practice them over and over again, preferably with other people that are around you. Remember this, practice makes perfect. So you can ask a coworker, a family member to play the role of a homeowner. So this is called like role playing. We could do this at the office if you join us We can do role playing together, figure out how you can avoid or how to answer common responses that you can get from possible salary. So study your responses as much as your listing presentation. This should be part of your training and personal development. Also, keep in mind that your responses won't be the same for every situation, but having a great handle on how you generally want to respond to different questions will ensure you a smoother presentation in a real time. So this is something that I would love for everybody to do as a homework. Just figure it out. What are the most common objections people might have at a listing presentation, and what think of the worst scenarios and try to put something together how you will respond, and role play with somebody else. Okay, have that person be the seller for that day and get in the mode. Get in that scenario, get in that picture, and make sure they come up with good, solid objections, and listen to how you respond and learn from that. And if you have to take notes, I highly encourage you to do that, because this is a way for you to practice. Again, practice makes perfect. So number 6, not adapting to the homeowner's style of communication. Not adapting to the homeowner's style of communication. Now, the most successful realtors can pitch to the youngest homeowner and the oldest homeowner with the same charisma and get the same message across, right? It's like an art. You have to be versatile in your sales pitches. The same delivery won't work for every homeowner. So you have to adapt to the person that you're talking to. Obviously, someone in their 50s responds to a different style of communication than someone in their 20s, right? And not only that, but one 30-year-old could have a completely different style of communication than another 30-year-old. Age isn't the only factor that determines how a presentation should be delivered. So you cannot go based on age, either. You have to go based on the style of communication that particular person, right? Some people want to be persuaded emotionally, while others are driven by statistics and numbers. Others want to hear about your past successes, and others want to know what you'll do specifically to advertise your home. So picking up on how people communicate, it's key here. So always focus on that as well. Now, how do you avoid this mistake when it comes to communicating and the different type of clients? Ray.
Well, I think it's important to pay attention to how they communicate even before the listing presentation. Are they leaving you voicemails? Are they calling you? Are they texting? Different things like that give you cues as to what kind of communication form they like the best. But also, even during or when you're in front of them, you can see their body language, and that'll see how they react to different things you say, and all those things give you a bigger picture of how they communicate. Even whoever recommended that person to you, if it's not like a cold lead. So there's a lot of ways, but basically paying attention to how they respond to different ways that we communicate, and then using the way that seems to work the best.
Excellent. So if you go through a list of comparables, sales, and it seems to you losing their interest or their enthusiasm, right? Because sometimes the attention span for a lot of people are short, and now more than ever because of social media and everything, right? So we're guilty of that ourselves. So yeah. So if you go through a list of comparable sales and it seems that you're losing their interest or enthusiasm, that very moment we need to figure it out. We have to craft our presentation around a more emotional pitch. So once you start looking at for signs, they become easier to recognize. Right now, you pick up on different type of cues and how they're responding, how they're feeling, because you want to keep them engaged throughout your presentation. So very good. And number 7 is mentioning other agents or taking or talking poorly about them. So mentioning other agents and talking poorly about them. So there's really no reason to mention anyone else when you give a presentation. So don't craft your presentation around comparing yourself to other agents or talk about how anyone else markets their listings. That's on them. Most importantly, never throw another agent under the bus or insult their work. Smear tactics like that won't win listings, nor will they garner you any respect. So this is especially important to keep in mind when you're approaching like expired homeowners, people that had the property listed and for some reason didn't sell. We don't know what happened there. So maybe throwing another agent on the bus won't be the right approach. If the homeowner starts batching their previous agent or agents, we should refocus the conversation to talk about what you, the agent, the superstar, will do for them. So it's not about what the previous agent did or didn't do. It's about you. You can point out why the listing may have failed, but don't mention anything personal about the agent's ability or tactics. So I mentioned it was gonna be 7, but there's a bonus, another point, and that is not leaving behind any marketing material. So this is I would say one of my pet peeves, right? If I'm gonna give a presentation, I want to make sure they have something I can leave behind. They have something that they can remember me by after the presentation is over. So after you give your pitch and leave, homeowners might remember what you said, but when you leave behind something of value, like a helpful booklet or a pamphlet or a flyer or some printed information on home selling, they have something physical to associate with you and what you can do for them and what you can offer. So keep that in mind, and remember always to focus on making a difference than worrying about making a deal. Remember, we are in a business, we are in a relationship building business. So we always want to worry about how can I make a difference in somebody's life. So if you need more tips and strategies like this, I encourage you to go to dailanrubido.com and download. We have a guide that was put together, and that's for you. Information like this one and more, you will find it there, and that's just for you to use it. It's designed to help you. And in that book, I provided an effective guide for you to establish or grow your business. If you look at in fact, I think I have it here. Give me 1 second. If you look at the camera, you're gonna see Ray is holding the book up. So, or you can go to dailanrubido.com. You'll be able to get the book. This is it right here. So again, this is a guide. It's designed to help you, to guide you, to give you ideas, just to open up your mind and think outside the box. There's a lot of things that we can do moving forward. It's a lot of things that we can implement that a lot of agents are not doing that you will find in that book, but we are using it. We are doing it. There's a lot of business out there. If you need help putting together a plan of action so you can become the a beast at getting listings, so you become the best at your listing presentation. How can you get a yes every time you go to a listing presentation? We can work with you. We can put this together and help you accomplish that. So with that said, that is Real Estate Friday. I hope you find it helpful. If you want more information about what we talked about, please feel free to reach out to me, Dailan at brokernation.net, or call Steve. You can call Ray. You can call Armando. We're here for you. Anything you need. Let's put a plan of action. We are in April, mid of April, 2021. The year is going by fast. There are a lot of opportunities in this market. We need to accomplish a lot of the goals that we have set for ourselves for this year. And one way of doing that is working together. So I encourage you to don't hold back, reach out to us, and let's work on the plan of action that will take you and your business to the next level. Steve, with that said, do you have anything else to add?
I do have one question, Daylon. Did you want to shout out to the Broker Nation team about the month that we had last month?
You know what? Yes, I do. So the month of March, we hit, it was incredible. We did over 100 transactions for the month of March in a very difficult market. So, and we accomplished that together. So I want to congratulate you. I want to thank you for your accomplishment. I want to thank you for taking your business serious and taking it to that level. And as a company, we did over 100 transactions. To us, that is a huge accomplishment, and we're super happy. We're super honored to be working with people like yourselves, and we can't wait to see what the next month look like. I know the month of April is looking very, very strong right now we might end up with the same or more. Who knows? So let's make it happen.
Yeah, you can click on the YouTube link in the chat there and get a hint of what we announced and celebrated this past month. It was very exciting. Yeah. And so Mindset Monday coming up, as always. All of our events are updated, and I list them at www.brokernation.events. And we have Mindset Monday coming up. And on Wednesday, for all you Broker Nation agents, I announced on our WhatsApp group, we have our monthly meeting on Wednesday. That's Wednesday next week. And there's a link in the WhatsApp group, and you can also find it on our Eventbrite page, www.brokernation.events, our internal monthly meeting, always good. And as always, if there's any external agents that are not with Broker Nation and you want to learn more about us, go to joinbrokernation.net. That's in the chat, www.joinbrokernation.net, to learn more about us, our team, our brokerage. We're 100% commission organization. Learn more about our amazing revenue sharing program that's just groundbreaking. All of our agents will be happy to tell you all about it themselves. They're very happy with it. And I think that's all the announcements I have. Don't forget Daylon's book at daylonrabito.com. And everyone, I guess, have a great weekend. There it is. Ray's holding it up. Anyone else have any thing that they want to talk about that they accomplished this week, or how the market is this past month?
I know the month is looking very, very strong as far as buyer goes. We do have a good team around us. If you don't know them, I will be more than happy to introduce them to you. Both offices are looking very strong as far as having the right staff in place. We're here to help you once again. We have the right lenders, we have the right title company, and we hear about how can we help other people achieve their dream and their goals of owning a property. So whether it's a first-time home buyer, whether it's a seller, whether it's an investor, we have the right product for them, and we have people that specializes in all this area. So if you are seeking or you want to expand your business at other levels, we can help you with that. Okay, don't hold back. Again, this trainings and all this is put together to help you grow your business. On top of that, the company is offering you something very unique, which is called revenue sharing. So I will highly encourage you to take advantage of that. Okay, right now things might be going great for you, but you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow the market might change. It could dry up worse than it is right now as far as listing goes. So we're always trying to see how can we be ahead of the game. One way is obviously how to get more listings. But if you're not trained on how to get listings, then we need to sit down and work on different types of strategies that could help you learn how to get listings, become a listing master. So how can you do this? There are plenty of strategies. It's just working with who you are, the way of you conducting business, and we can work with that. We can tailor a strategy that will work just for you. And that's what we're all about, right? We want you to succeed. So we got to work together. So again, if you have any questions or you have something in mind, you have your goals, your plan, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to sit down with you one-on-one and put a strategy together that would help you get to your goals. So let's work together and let's do this. So with that said, join us on Mindset Monday. We want to engage with you. Mondays are very important because it's the beginning of the week. We want to engage with you. We want to make sure you're in the right mindset, and we want to start the week strong. So join us. If you have anybody else and you tell them, hey, you know what, let's do this together. They don't have to be from this company, but we want everybody to see in the right mindset. There's a lot of agents out there that are not mentally in this business. They're here for the money, and we're here for the long haul, right? Invite them over. All right. It's a good way to start the week strong, but not only that, it's a good way of us staying motivated, regardless of what happens. You're motivated. You're right. You're in the right mindset, and you see how being positive, mentally healthy, things are gonna go great for you. So join us on Monday, Mindset Monday at 10 in the morning. register, and I hope to see you there. With that said, please have a wonderful Friday. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend. Take care.